Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chuckie, joined as always by the boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast, and you are blessed with another gauntlet because we happen to have an idea, and that idea was to do crossovers.
Yeah. This one's a little more avant-garde because instead of doing, going through the plot of a specific movie or a specific book, we're putting the Gauntlet contestants, as it were, against more generalized scenarios because they all fit the theme of a crossover. And yeah. I really like the idea.
There's actually, sort of a consistent plot throughout. You guys will see, and God, these take forever, so let's skip all the preamble and just get into it. I will establish the rules in case you're just joining us. Basically, this was inspired by a Reddit post that you'd have to go back to our first podcast on the Gauntlet to find out which post it was, because I never remember to point it out.
But, I don't even think you remembered in the first one.
I did. In the first one I did. It's in the description, I think.
Oh.
But you might say I could do that, but then how would you go back and listen to the first podcast we did on the Gauntlet?
That's true.
Basically, we each select a team of 4 fictional characters. This time, the really only restriction was that they were comic book. We stuck to DC and Marvel for the crossover appeal.
Because, sure, we could have done indie comics, but
I just think it pollutes things.
For crossovers, you want it to be a big two.
I thought about using my token. But
I bet you did.
I didn't end up doing it because I figured I could get by. Anyway, we each pick 4 fictional characters, and typically we go with them on this adventure, as we do now, to go through a series of 6 challenges that we also come up with. And it's just a fun little thought exercise where we get to talk about, characters from movies and shit that we love.
Nominally, it's a competition where, we decide who would, which team would win, and that person is the victor. But ultimately, it's more about having a fun conversation.
The rules therein are any physical equipment a character has, as well as any mana or other resources spent, are replenished between each round. Non-fatal injuries are automatically healed between rounds. We can't take anything with us, from the actual worlds between the rounds. So, say for the sake of argument, one of the characters got the 1 ring because we did a Lord of the Rings round. In the next round,
he's not keeping it.
No, yeah, sorry, it's gone. But the bonds they form along the way and shit like that, that's fine.
Bonds, knowledge,
yeah.
Physical items, and power-ups do not cross through.
Obviously, both they and us know the setup to the experiment. We try to choose characters that will get along, and we can't use a character twice unless each time one wins, there is a token that you get to revive a former teammate. I have 1, the boy has 3, David Xanatos is in possession of his own.
Well, that was a missed opportunity. Spoilers, he's not in the crossover. He should have been.
I'm sure he'll be back someday when he feels the time is right. So, my team is myself, of course. I have chosen the Green Lantern John Stewart. He's my favorite Green Lantern. I feel like he's the least...
He's really the Green Lantern of, my childhood, Because he's the one from Justice League.
Well, and I didn't grow up on the Green Lantern. We've talked about this before. I didn't really grow up on DC much, except for Batman.
Right.
So, I didn't really know about the Green Lantern until early 20s. And, yeah, I just don't really like any of the other ones. They never really appealed to me. They were too flawed, I think.
And that's one of the things about the Green Lantern characters is that unlike a lot of DC heroes, almost all the Green Lanterns have some big personality flaw to go along with their incredible personality,
John Stewart's
traits.
Personality flaw is that he is like a plain rice cake.
Yeah,
that
he's
bland.
He is a fucking... the character's very interesting and cool. He is a boring person.
Yes. And I like him as a cool, interesting character. I like Space Cop. I don't know that I want to read a comic series all about him, but him coming in to help, it feels like a big moment,
Yeah,
anytime it happens.
And I love him because he is the Green Lantern of my childhood.
Yeah, sure.
When I think Green Lantern, I genuinely think John Stewart first. He's the first one who comes up in my brain.
My second pick is Steel, the DC character. I unironically thought he was the most interesting standout after the death of Superman back in the day.
Of all of them, he is honestly the least weird.
That's also true, yeah. I just thought he was kind of cool, and they kind of made an Iron Man plus Thor out of him afterward. And that's pretty sick. I am using the version that has the least amount of android parts while also not being an homage to Superman.
Also, not Shaq.
Definitely not that one. That movie's not as bad as people act like it is.
No, that's a fine bad movie.
But it's not good. Next I have Bishop from the X-Men. He's really cool and kind of underrated, even at times by me. I always forget how really interesting his powers are. Being able to absorb and then redirect energy like that, he's got some cool shit going on. There's a lot of possibilities there. And I think he's a really cool character with a cool past.
I love the storyline he's from. It's a little wonky, but like it looks really cool, and it's from a cool era of comics.
It's about the most wacky time travel comics bullshit you can have as someone's backstory without like immediately turning everyone off.
Yeah, he's like the upper bound of time travel bullshit.
I'm from a shitty alternate future where mutants are hunted. That's it. It's 2 sentences.
You don't need to
It's not
know
even
more.
2 sentences. That's enough. And then I have Misty Knight. I'm a big fan of Misty Knight. Sadly, not the one from the show, because I wanted someone who had more powers than karate. And
well, I mean, you could have used. You didn't end up watching these, but you could have used one from like either the. Is it the Defenders team up where she gets the robot arm?
I think somewhere in Defenders or in
No, it's after Defenders.
Yeah, I think it's in
Daredevil season 3, maybe.
I want to say it's
Luke.
Iron Fist. One of the Iron Fist seasons, I think she's in.
Did Iron Fist have 2 seasons? Yes, it did. It was Iron Fist season 2.
Yeah, but she didn't have all the lasers and shit. It was just a real good hand.
Yeah, it was just a robot arm.
I want the lasers and shit.
That's fair. That's
and
fair.
the karate and the connections. But I think Misty Knight's cool as hell. When I got Marvel Future Fight on my phone,
Dude, the Daughters of the Dragon is just a cool fucking.
Hell yeah!
Like, of all the terrible parts of the Netflix Iron Fist show, setting up the Daughters of the Dragon was a good fucking call.
And it was a decent payoff that sadly couldn't go further. But hey, time will tell as those contracts are starting to expire.
Good. Rehire Charlie Cox and Mike and Mike and just the rest of them can be fine. It's all right. I mean, most of the main, not Iron Fist. Don't rehire Iron Fist.
Get a different Iron Fist.
I like that guy, but get a different Iron Fist.
He wasn't terrible. He just still tastes like that thing we ate while he was around.
Yes.
But what is your team, the boy?
My team is myself, obviously, and then Calderon, Aquaman. That is to say, Calderon from the most recent season of Young Justice.
Which I have not seen, but I know enough spoilers
You
about
can
it.
extrapolate an Aquaman version of that
definitely.
character. Static Shot, Virgil Hawkins. I fucking love this character. I loved the cartoon when I was a kid. When they did the crossovers where he showed up, where he, on his show, it crossed over with Justice League, and then later he showed up in like a time travel episode, blew my mind as a kid because they were separate from greater DC, so I just really didn't see it coming. I love Virgil Hawkins. I could take or leave a lot of his secondary characters, to be perfectly honest, but that character was always really cool. He had a cool power set. He had a cool, vibe, and he's got a really dope outfit.
Dope outfits are kind of your go-to, except for Calderon.
While I'm talking,
I have the Calderon. I saw it earlier.
The version of him as Aquaman.
It's not bad.
A good Aquaman.
It's a good Aquaman, but his old outfit was better. And the one before that specifically was choice.
All right, fair. I will take. Yeah, I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I'm not disagreeing. Next is Miles Morales. I don't need to explain who that is.
Yeah, he's in the zeitgeist now. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice that I don't have to explain Miles Morales. Okay, so listen. No, I can just say it and everyone goes, oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, exactly. And he's cool. I'm not using the one from Into the Spider-Verse because he's a little new, to be perfectly honest.
That'd be giving yourself a liability.
I'm using the more developed, more mature one from, not current Marvel, because I'm kind of out of the loop, but like a mid-Marvel, midway through his run, a few years into his tenure as Spider-Man. And then the Black Panther, T'Challa. I don't know if I ever came down to this beforehand, but I'll probably be using MCU T'Challa, because even though comics T'Challa is a lot more powerful, and he is, he's also got a lot of weird baggage I don't feel like dealing with, so we're going to use MCU T'Challa.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get into the Gauntlet. The first round was something of your construction, so why don't you set the pace for us, set the story? What's going on? What do our heroes need to figure out?
All right, so the scenario is as follows. They're all dropped in to, it would be the DC universe. Let's say Gotham or Metropolis, doesn't really matter. Maybe Star City. And
Get some Star City play in there. I respect it.
The main hero of that area is gone, and people are being killed. Like, very prominent people. Because this isn't an ongoing comic. I don't have to keep people alive. The team's
What
job...
else is a DC event or a crossover for but killing people you love? Red Arrow, fucking dead.
You know what? Yeah. Fuck Roy. Pick which one. I don't care. You know what? No, I do care. Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal.
Yeah.
But the ultimate conclusion of which being the team has to do enough investigation to figure out what's behind the assassinations, that being the League of Shadows, and stop Ra's al Ghul's plan, which is, in all likelihood, given him killing a lot of people. Most of the people, really. So, we'll say exploding a bomb to turn them all into moss. That fits his shit, being as he is an eco-terrorist. They have to stop his plan and, in the first place, figure out it's the League of Shadows. Which is hard, because they are the League of Shadows.
I feel like I have a leg up with this scenario specifically, as I have Jon Stewart and Misty Knight, which I didn't think about it when I put them together. They're, in fact, on opposite ends of my list. I have made a super cop team-up.
You have made like a 48 hours, Rush Hour style, like, buddy cop comedy.
I would watch the shit out of that.
With Jon Stewart as the straight man and Misty Knight as, like, your Axel Foley type.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's very true. I have a very experienced, like, covert ops man in Calderon.
Yep.
And, I mean, Miles, who is very used to handling armies of ninjas by himself.
I feel like you can get it done. I don't think either of our teams have an issue getting it done. It is just, after all, at the end of the day, Ra's al Ghul and a bunch of ninjas.
And, look, I love Batman, but if Batman can beat you in a sword fight, Spider-Man kicks your dick in. And the Green Lantern considers you a amusing pastime.
Spider-Man just takes your sword and goes, "That's cool. Where did you get it? From, like, Bud K?" And then bends it into a pretzel and gives you one good Tolchok and you're out.
But the challenge here is more figuring out where what the scam is, where to go, and getting it done in time. Because Ra's al Ghul is functionally immortal. He is used to fighting people who have more powers than him, because he lives in the DC universe with Dr. Fate. Mm-hmm. So, like, he is used to batting uphill in that way. It's about getting it done quickly enough.
I don't think there's a way that Ra's al Ghul is killed, like, forever during this.
God, no, he's Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Look, T'Challa and Misty Knight, probably Bishop. Yeah, someone's going to murder him on both teams.
Sure.
Especially because each team has at least one person who's aware of his whole shtick. So it's like, no, it's fine. Just murder him. He'll be back.
I mean, we are there. We are there to help.
Yeah, he's Ra's al Ghul. Like, it's just, like, go ahead and kill him. It's fine. He'll be back next week. It's not a big deal. But I don't think he goes down permanent style. No, I don't think so. I don't think he really gets taken in either. Like you said, we've got some hotheads on the team, on my team anyway. Jon Stewart would be like, "No, we have to take this guy to space jail," but that's not going to happen. He's going to blow up someone into moss that one person on my team cares about, and he's either going to get hammered, energy blasted, or just straight up shot. With a gun. That kills him just fine, by the way. I feel like you're right. Ultimately, I don't think either team is stopped by this round, and I think because while I have people who are, used to doing covert ops, and people who are, they're a Spider-Man, they're used to handling their own business, you're the one with a dedicated, like, set of investigators.
Yeah, I think
cops.
This is a good movie, but it will wrap up in 90 minutes, whereas yours is more like a miniseries?
Yeah, I think so. And they both get to it in time, but mine are a little closer to the wire.
Yeah, definitely.
Notably, our meta-knowledge isn't necessarily as useful here in this Gauntlet as usual, because we're not going through specific plots.
Right, this was actually entirely the purpose. Keep us around to be useful without necessarily being the reason everyone manages to make it through.
Because we already know the plot. No, it's... Oh, shit, it's... The people are dying. We're in Star City. Shit, there's so many people that could be. I don't recognize this plot. Then... Oh, no, okay, it's definitely the League of Shadows. That's all I got.
I honestly think I'm ancillary here. I mean, I might be the one who goes, oh no, y'all can just kill Ra's al Ghul, it's fine. But like Misty Knight and Jon Stewart have figured this out before I even caught into the fact that there were ninjas.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll take the slight edge in that round if it comes down to that. That brings us to round 2.
I believe it does. This one was yours.
This one is mine. The goal is, I'll set the scene. We're moved again. We are now in front of the X Mansion, whichever version of it you would like. Here comes the Juggernaut. Don't let him destroy it.
That's all. You just have to stop him from destroying the X Mansion. However, there is a small problem with that. He's the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I'm not talking about any of your sissy Juggernauts or your depowered Juggernauts. I'm also not talking about full Sidorak Avatar Juggernaut. That's ridiculous. But we are speaking of, like, Deadpool movie Juggernaut. We're talking about...
I think Deadpool movie Juggernaut is a good, solid bar to work with.
Yeah. So... Woof, this is a tough one.
I think this is a big bad round. And, like, this is also a Juggernaut. You know, Deadpool movie Juggernaut isn't like comics Juggernaut. Deadpool movie Juggernaut, well, I'm going to rip you in half now.
Yeah.
So this is also a risky round.
It is a risky round. I feel like, for my team personally, I feel like Steel's going to be a real asset here.
He's a tank. I feel like... You have a member of your team who's wielding the most powerful weapon in their universe.
Yes.
But the problem is you have the one who uses it like a big set of handcuffs.
Yeah. So, like, he'll get up in there, but it's not going to be, you know, quite as effective as your Gardeners.
Or, like, Kyle Rayner. He's not Kyle Rayner.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, that's why I like him.
Kyle taking shots here. Taking a little shrapnel, Mr. Rayner.
You know what? If I can use some comics logic here, I think what it's going to come down to is Bishop is going to convince Jon Stewart to use the power of the ring on him, and then Bishop will funnel that energy, and it'll get, like, doubled or whatever.
Because that's what Bishop does.
Super focused, and then that's how they take care of Juggernaut while Steel does the tanking. I feel like my X-Mansion gets a little wrecked, but it's still standing. Most of the rooms are still good. Cerebro's there, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Whereas I don't have as many high-powered people. This is actually a change. Usually I'm the one with the higher power level in terms of team members. But
Jon Stewart was the reconciliation I made with myself, because with a big comics crossover, of course I want to use one of my favorite heroes. And if I can't do all 4 Turtles, nor should I, it's got to be Spawn.
Yeah.
But I've already used Spawn.
Yeah.
But what is the Green Lantern but, like, Spawn adjacent?
Yeah.
He's basically a Spawn.
No, but...
But, like, you know, Demon Hellfire is green.
You got me there. But I think I'm not actually that fucked. Partially for 2 reasons. One, I have 2 people who are very, very good at running interference here. Mm-hmm. I have Miles Morales, a Spider-Man, who, while not as strong as the Juggernaut, is strong enough to pick up the Juggernaut and throw him.
Got his little stuns, too. That might do something.
He's got electric shocks, which Deadpool movie Juggernaut is weak to, as we saw.
Right.
I also have T'Challa, who is wearing a whole fucking outfit made of vibranium. Mm-hmm. Juggernaut punch, outfit turn purple, Juggernaut go woo.
So you basically got someone who will stand in front of the Juggernaut and go back. Pass go, don't collect $200.
But that's only going to stop. He's still the Juggernaut.
Sure.
That'll only delay him.
Right.
I have Static Shock.
And you have Calderon.
I have Aquaman, who uses magic, which is very effective against the Juggernaut when he's not Turbo Sidorak.
Yeah, he's not Turbo Sidorak.
And I have the electricity guy. And electromagnetism. So that helmet's gone. That helmet is gone. That helmet is a frisbee that Virgil was riding around on inside 5 minutes.
Does Calderon have like any mental magic powers?
Not much. He's not a sorcerer. He just uses the magic is like he uses magic for his attacks. Like you remember in Young Justice where he had the water bearers. Those are magical.
Well,
attacks.
I mean, a lot of time has passed since the first season that I saw, and now.
Oh, he is much better now.
It's not beyond reason that he might be able to remember his training and a certain spell to turn off the
give him a nice sleep spell. Yeah. That's a pretty low level Atlantean magic business.
I honestly think that you managed to take this round because I think you're going to have less damage done to your X Mansion, almost purely because of the interference you get to run so easily, and Black Panther being a more effective tank for this situation.
Just because he is, you've hit me with infinite momentum. Well, I'm vibranium. So
and my suit is specifically designed to push that shit back at you.
Absorb and redirect momentum. Oopsie doodle! Sorry, Kane!
All right, okay. So next, another one of yours, as it happens.
Yes. So we're going to pop you, let's say, it doesn't really matter, but we'll go back to the DC universe just to be thorough, and we will say that you are in the Nevada desert in the DC universe. And just somewhere completely free of collateral damage or anything else.
I like the way this round would have to open with the heroes and us kind of going, oh, this isn't going to be good.
And then a giant you see and hear a giant motorcycle come flying in from space, at which point both me and White in our various rounds go, oh, fuck!
I will be cheering until I realize what's going on.
Someone, he isn't going to tell you because why would he tell you, but someone has paid the main man, Lobo, to take us out. We are becoming a problem, which means that there has been communication between the rounds by people other than the team, which is not how this usually works.
No, another interesting wrinkle.
But someone has paid the main man to axe us.
I don't think this is a question of do we make it through this round. I think obviously we do. Lobo is but one Lobo.
Yeah.
Do we lose anyone?
I think unless...
Is this going to be a Gauntlet classic and we're fucking dead now?
I think, honestly, unless both teams make it their fucking business to keep you and me alive, Lobo's not... he's not like a mighty warrior prince. He's not like looking for the strongest fight.
No, it'll be like a shotgun blast and then 1 down, 4 to go.
He's looking for his fucking money. Yeah. And notably, Lobo has shown up a couple times in Young Justice, both in the seasons you've watched and spoilers. He shows up in the 3rd season, and he pretty much wins both times.
Yeah, so, he's nothing to sneeze at.
But he's a Superman tier villain.
Yeah.
So I think you and I, if we live, it's because someone else took a hit for us. So the question becomes, do we have anyone on our team? And the answer is yes. Who would do that? Now, you have an advantage because you have someone who legitimately is a Lobo class combatant.
I have 2 people.
You have John Stewart, who is who is Lobo class, and you have Steel, who did an okay job filling in for Superman.
Yeah, he did okay. I feel like John Stewart, actually, my protection is probably a little greater.
Yeah, because
he can just go
bubble,
force bubble. No,
bubble, and I'm just gonna keep you behind me. There we go. You're just gonna be Bubble Boy for this round.
Honestly, being in the hamster ball might be a bonus for my team. I don't know. That makes it interesting. I think Misty Knight is probably the next most likely one to go.
She is ultimately just a lady with a robot arm who knows kung fu, but also she's not dumb.
No.
She will immediately see that Lobo is batting out of her league.
And she's incredibly agile and able to get around things. I don't think if the whole team is there just ready to fight, that Lobo is going to be able to target Misty in quite the same way he'd be able to target me.
Yeah, because Misty is at least also a superhero.
Right, exactly. So.
For myself, for my team, I think we still definitely take the round. but I am less sanguine about my ability to get through it.
If it weren't for Jon Stewart, I would assume Lobo shows up and kills me, and then everyone fights.
Yeah. As you're like, dude! And you like walk up to like high five him.
Just blows my head clean off, rolls the cigar in his teeth, and laughs.
One down. Whereas I immediately would recognize the situation because there's no other reason he's gonna be here.
Right.
And just would fucking absolutely hightail it at maximum fat running speeds away from the problem.
Yeah, which, as we know, is way faster than a space motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. So I think I'll leave it up to you. Do you think I would totally be willing to accept that I am out at this point? I don't think we lose anybody else. Because
I think your team has a harder time, but like injuries heal between rounds, so what does it fucking matter?
Yeah. So that's like, non-fatal injuries heal. Do I manage to get him to shoot me in the stomach and then just hold on until he's defeated?
Like, that's a die roll kind of situation. Can you convince Lobo that somehow your stomach is your weak point? Does he still not shoot you with a shotgun, rendering you effectively dead?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know that you make it through this one,
No, I don't think anybody else bounces out, but I think I might be Dunyan Rings on this one.
Now I will say that if any point it seems like it's between me or Misty Knight losing, I would sacrifice myself for someone who is way more capable.
Yeah, someone who's more useful.
I just don't know if it's going to come to that. You know a little bit more about Lobo in other fiction and what Jon Stewart is capable of. I mean, let's be honest, your Steele and Bishop are the ones who are just punching him in the head.
Yeah.
How do you think that shakes out?
No, I think you make it through just fine because you have a Green Lantern on your team.
Okay.
Ultimately, you just have more muscle than I do on this one. You have Steel and a Green Lantern, and Bishop's nothing to sneeze at. I have more than enough muscle to stop him. Between literally Aquaman, he is literally Aquaman.
Sure, yeah.
Magic using Aquaman, no less. Miles Morales, who bats outside his weight class a lot. That's fine.
I think he's going to get knocked around by this, but
and
he's
then
still
the Crown Prince of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Or King of Wakanda at this point. So I don't think there's a problem necessarily with the rest of my team making it through, but I feel definitely I definitely wouldn't want to die, but like in between me or like if he's shooting at Virgil, no, I'm gonna try and get him to shoot me first. I'm gonna mouth off to him or something.
Right. And same thing. Like Misty's the only one I need to worry about preserving, I feel. But even then, there's a Green Lantern. There's no reason he can't make 2 bubbles. What? No, my limit is 1 bubble? No.
Static could keep me safe, I think.
Yeah, you think so? Like,
because he can stop bullets.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's I didn't think about that.
And swing around the space motorcycle with electromagnetism powers. Like Lobo is still Kryptonian tough, so he can't really do much to fight him. But he can fuck all Lobo's technology up. Okay.
Well, I mean, Static isn't really doing much else in this engagement, so he might be able to save your ass in that sense.
I mean, I'll take it. I'm
going to say it's not easy. It's not anywhere near easy.
No, you definitely win the round. In terms of ease of defeat, you definitely win the round.
Sure, I will take that. Pin it on my chest. All right, well, we make it past Lobo. We beat the shit out of him, space arrest him, whatever. Maybe the round ends as soon as we're done thrashing him. But then we move to our next round, where we are back in New York City, although much more metropolitan. Mm-hmm. And the only person at all who knows that something is afoot is you or I in our respective universes. Because to everyone else, it seems like the peace is being kept by the Iron Patriot.
To be clear, this isn't Iron Man 3. This is Stormin' Norman.
Norman Osborn, one of my favorite comic storylines is when he became the Iron Patriot. Such a culmination of the character in terms of like schemes and seeming like a good guy when he's not a good guy. And just so I was really happy about the opportunity to even bring this shit up.
The central question here: Does he have the Thunderbolts?
He has some version of the Thunderbolts, but we're talking about like mooks with some mutant powers or whatever, not
Speedball.
Yeah, not Speedball or Venom or whatever else. Like, it's just...
Because Venom is around by himself.
Venom eats Lobo, and now we have to fight Venolobo.
Declined.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
So this is tough for those of you less familiar with the setup, because people think Norman's a good guy here.
Yeah, he's reformed.
He's reformed.
He's changed his ways. He's leading the reformed villains, the Thunderbolts, to keep peace in New York when the heroes are away for whatever reason in this scenario. To which both you and I go, no, he's not.
No, he is not.
That is Norman Osborn. He is not reformed. That is Stormin' Norman on his horse. All right. Our job here, I already know what the deal is. We have to expose him and take him down. That's the idea.
Yeah. Which is difficult. I mean, you've basically got a Captain America Winter Soldier situation on your hands in terms of,
For you, yeah. You have some powerful people with some powerful abilities, but nobody of any import in that universe. I have the King of Wakanda.
That's true. That helps.
It certainly keeps us out of jail.
Yeah, and it stops the situation from being,
X-dimensional jail.
Yeah. I think that's probably going to give you something of an edge. It's MCU King of Wakanda, so it's not as...
And this is definitely not the MCU. Like, I have a T'Challa from a different universe who will call home and be like... And the T'Challa there will be like, what the hell? Oh, no, this is an alternate universe thing? Oh, I'm familiar with those. All right, who are we here to stop?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting way to play it. I think you definitely have a smoother job getting it done. I think I'm the mini-series here.
Yeah, whereas I'm a movie.
Yeah, it's just a reverse of...
I'm a movie that ends with a bunch of cries of Ibambe and then Norman getting his shit rocked.
I think we take Norman down with legal stuff, then he flips out and we have to fight the Iron Patriot / Green Goblin. Maybe the Iron Patriot is running on house party mode and he's flying around on the glider. Shit.
No, come on, man. It's him in the armor, and he looks like normal Norman the whole time. And then when you bust out of the armor, he's green, and then the armor disassembles into the glider, and he starts throwing pumpkin bombs. It's like his boss mode.
Yeah, we got a second phase, is what you're saying. The music gets more choral.
Yes.
I'm willing to give the nod to you on that one. But we do find out in the process of this that the person who paid Lobo to attack us was indeed Norman Osborn.
Which is very concerning, because one, that means that he gave a guy from another universe money, and two, that means that he knew to give a guy from another universe money to take out a third group of people who have not bothered him yet.
Which is, coming into the 5th round, the first time we understand that we are probably in a crossover.
That someone... And, sprinkled out through various rounds, Ra's al Ghul maybe was trying to get something else that he got, and the big moss bomb was
just a distraction.
Was a distraction to keep the heroes busy while he set something up for later. This has all been at the behest of some sort of some sort of mastermind.
Going into round 5, I think we have a pretty good mastermind and her dragon.
I believe we do. That would be Amora. Or some of you who may watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. probably know her as Lorelei. From Marvel Comics, specifically. Not the MCU version, because the MCU version is not as powerful. Full stop, that's why. Amora is an Asgardian sorceress, who notably is one of the few Asgardians in comics not tied to any specific myth. Who is an enemy typically of Thor's, and... she is accompanied by her poor, benighted soul of a constant dragon, Scourge the Executioner. She has apparently, as far as our team can tell, she has tied up all these men in her charming magics, and is pulling the strings behind the scenes for some multiversal goal, and our job is to stop her, take her down. It's not hard to find her. She's on Earth right now. That makes it much easier. But you have to figure out what universe she's in, so we have to figure out how to get between the two. Mm-hmm. They must have some mechanism to do so, so obviously we can do that as well. And defeat a better-than-Loki class sorceress who is also an Asgardian. So, super strong, super tough. Not a great melee fighter, but she does have Scourge there. Who is a Thor villain by himself.
So, the trick is, the easy out through this, how do we travel through planes and times and whatnot? We each have a Justice League member on our team. So they know the Flash, as it were. Problem, we were in the Marvel Universe at the last point.
Yep. It's about one. Probably this round probably takes place at least partially in the at the end of the last round. We find how Iron Patriot was getting in between universes to pay off Lobo, and we use that to get to the DC universe to fight Enchanters, to fight Amora.
That makes sense. And I think we've got people on our teams who would figure that out. Between Miles and Black Panther on your team, and mostly Misty Knight, maybe Bishop on my team.
Green Lantern Ring.
I mean, figuring it out, I meant. Not making shit happen.
But I keep saying Amora specifically, one, because you have it written here, and two, because if I say Enchantress, this will get fucking confusing.
Yeah, there's like 5 Enchantresses between the two franchises.
But yeah, ultimately, once we get there, it's mostly a straight up fight. We've unraveled her plan at this point, so it's mostly just a straight up knockdown drag out with an Asgardian sorceress and Scourge the fucking Executioner.
Yeah, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Now, I don't know that much about Amora, all things considered. Even today, most Thor lore I know is from the movies. Most, anyway. So I'm going to let you field this one, and I'm just going to take my lumps if I get them. How do you think our team's fare here? What do you think is the result?
I mean, I'm going to put the cart before the horse on this one. You take this round.
Okay.
And this is going to sound mean, or perhaps a little insensitive. You take this round because you have at least one chick. Amora the Enchantress, one of her prototypical powers, is a charming magic that brings men under her wiles. It can also work on ladies as well. It's fairly equal opportunity, but she has preferences. So, that is a problem in and of itself. I think you take this round. I don't think... Scourge, honestly, is usually sandbagging. He's not usually going all out to try and murder people. Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't really necessarily... He's a violent guy. He likes fighting. But he's mostly here to impress the lady who is friend-zoning him. Or more accurately, minion-zoning him. So he's usually sandbagging. So long as we don't try it, so long as no one is trying to murder Amora, he's going to keep it pretty chill.
I think mostly at this point we're just trying to figure out what she's doing, what the final goal is, and stop her from completing it.
Yeah, we're going to have, both teams are going to have a hell of a hard time fist fighting the Asgardian.
I think also I have another, a bit of ace in the hole in Jon Stewart, as he is a Green Lantern. And,
yeah.
You know.
They're, the emotional spectrum is a little different from magic, but it can usually stand up to magic pretty well because of the weight. It gets into heavy DC metaphysics, but essentially because of how powerful the things that are powering the emotional spectrum are, they can usually bloody the nose of anyone of whatever magical thing is giving them guff.
Well, and as I was getting to, he's a Green Lantern, so his willpower, his resolve, his ability to not be hoodwinked by sexy lady magic.
He's fought Star Sapphire. He's
all right. He's probably got a pretty big edge in this one.
Like he's seen this before. It's a little different this time, but he's fought Star Sapphire and, like, in general terms, that entire emotional light spectrum.
Right.
But yeah, him and Misty Knight together, I feel like are a big boon to you. You take this round pretty easily. I feel like we get through. I am not a physical threat to Scourge the Executioner or to the Enchantress. Again, she's a fucking Asgardian. She can lift 25 tons. But I might be able to make it through the charm magics.
Right on. I think, depending on the situation, I think Enchantress would have to know to go after Black Panther specifically and get in past his defenses to...
Because he is also protected by the Panther Spirit. It's not as explicit in the MCU, but it's there.
Yeah, it's definitely in the cool vaporwave place he goes to.
Yeah, like he is protected by the Panther Spirit. She's gonna have to put a little work in on that one.
So I think between your information and Black Panther's resolve, I think that's probably how you break the spell. I think the horny teenagers are fucked.
Oh yeah, Miles and Static are fucked. We spent half the round fighting those guys. Calderon maybe also. He's Pan. That's not...
I mean, he's also, though, everything he's been through, I don't know, that might have hardened him.
He has a husband.
Yeah.
He has like a dedicated, emotional counterpart. That usually helps.
He might be the first one that you and T'Challa managed to shake out then.
Yeah, because remind him of his husbando, of Garth. And that'd be cool. That'd be a cool way to shake him out of it. And then we end up, defeating the Enchantress. And I feel like we make it, but this isn't even a mini-series. Like, this is a comic.
Yeah. Yeah. This is... We're winding up the event comic. The sky is red. And all signs point to...
victory, but there's one round left.
There is. These gauntlets, they're like the gauntlet that you see in the image before you as you're watching this. No doubt staring directly at a static image for the last 41 and a half minutes.
Please fucking tell me you're not doing that. Tell me in the comments that you're not doing that.
So there's another gem, and it's the big one.
Mm-hmm. Once you defeat the Enchantress, she is Amora the Enchantress. She flips on her boss. She tells you that she's not the one behind the scenes. She's not the mastermind who is pulling everything. She's working for a boss just like anybody else. Vandal Savage.
What are Vandal Savage's goals, boy?
Vandal Savage wants two things more than anything else in life. One, to see the Earth rise to its absolute pinnacle of power, under his leadership, of course. And two, to fuck Darkseid in the mouth. He has... I believe we said that a big part of this was him setting up to get the War World.
Yeah.
And he had to set it up this way, so he had to set it up this way. And we are stopping his shit. We are in his steez, so Vandal Savage is coming to smack a bitch.
Yeah. That's a fight, man.
Vandal Savage has also brought along the Juggernaut, Ra's al Ghul, and a contingent of League of Shadows ninjas, Lobo, freshly broken out of space prison, the Iron Patriot / Green Gauntlet,
and a small army of Thunderbolt mooks.
Amora, the Enchantress, who is kind of flipped on him, but at the same time, will definitely still fight us.
I mean, I think she probably flipped long enough to get us to trust her, long enough to escape.
Yep. And then come back later.
Yeah.
So this is the final round. Vandal Savage.
Adam Savage.
Yeah. Just Vandal Savage and all the previous rounds, but just the bosses and a small contingent where necessary.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to say you and I, neither of this make it out of this round.
Unless we are violently not participating.
Or unless I don't know, we can't take buffs from previous rounds, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we both dead, I think.
Dead or gone, not a factor in this equation regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, we have nothing to lend here.
No.
They've learned everything they can learn about these villains. This is a crossover event.
Literally pointing, that guy's immortal. You can't kill him. You can't. You can't, believe me. Better than you have tried. And then we leave.
I've got to go. But another unique factor to this is a team-up round. This is a crossover.
Oh, yes, sir.
So this isn't the bosses against our teams individually. This is all of those previous rounds against Jon Stewart, Calderon, Steel, Static, Bishop, Miles Morales, Misty Knight, and the Black Panther.
Which is the only reason we stand a chance in hell.
Yeah!
And then you and me go, hey! And we silent Bob and Jay our way out of this fucking equation. Yeah, that's a situation. This is a genuine question as to whether or not we win.
It's comic books at the end of the day.
Who's writing the comic?
We are. So I think the teams prevail. Especially if we are in a place where we can get backup.
Yeah.
Because I can get us a Green Lantern Corps. I can get us maybe not S.H.I.E.L.D., but some sort of, like, foot soldiery.
This is the end of a crossover comic. I feel like we can get enough backup to still make it an interesting fight.
You can bring in Wakanda easily.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we've got dimension hopping technology.
I have Doctor Strange over here.
There's no reason we don't have, like, 10 Spiders-Man.
I do have a Spider-Man, and there's a whole cartoon series about Spider-Man hopping dimensions, and Miles is one of the main characters.
And you've got Aquaman, so Atlantis is here. He wields the sea.
It's not that Aquaman.
Does he not wield the sea?
No, King Horton's still around. He's just
that's fair.
down there being king.
Okay, all right.
Oh man, the armies of Wakanda and Atlantis together fighting. Yes!
I think this...
Good Atlantis, not Namor Atlantis.
I think this ends up... Yeah. We need the help of Atlantis. I'm here to help, not you.
Fuck off.
Get out of here, Spock.
Go fuck Sue Storm or whatever it is you do in your spare time.
Reed Richards would show up to say that's hurtful, but he's not in the expanded universe right now, so whatever.
Good riddance.
So yeah, I think eventually we manage to take this one. And I think it would be remiss. I think we're both actually very uniquely suited to bring in good recruits. I think this is just a feel-good moment for the people watching the crossover.
This is the end of a crossover comic. Like
Yeah.
with Vandal Savage as our Thanos, and he doesn't have the Infinity Gauntlet, so he is ultimately a very skilled, very powerful fighter. But unless he gets the War World...
You know what, actually? I think that Black Panther is another asset here. Well, because he can take out Lobo, like, immediately. Because his superpower is money.
That's true! Lobo is just a mercenary.
And a shitty one.
He's not stuck in the wrong universe where none of his money is. It's, hey, the main man's here. He's gonna handle this business. The rest of you step back. Actually, if I may, I'll pay you, just all the money to stab that guy right in the chest right now. And then Scourge the Executioner has a bad week.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really good ending. I think it's fun. I love Vandal Savage. I would love to see this played out. If any of you out there are both Marvel and DC representative heads, I'm sure you've been listening to the podcast.
And want us to plot this out for you,
Yeah.
and, like, do the whole storyline. We'll throw in some extra twists. We'll change some stuff up. We don't want spoilers for the podcast.
Sure. And I know a storyboard artist who probably would be down.
Oh, God, yeah. Look, you're going to have to make some peace with a lot of the dudes being very muscular, but otherwise...
Lobo's there. We're fine.
Yeah. Good Lobo. Not shitty Lobo.
So, I think this is overall a good thing. So, we have 5 other rounds. 5 is an odd number.
Yep.
Somebody comes out ahead. Round 1, I had the edge.
You did.
We discussed. Round 2, that was definitely your edge.
Oh, yep.
Round 3, I had the edge because of Green Lantern shields.
Round 4 was you.
Round 4, what? Round 4 was me?
The Iron Patriot. Oh, no, I had the King of Wakanda.
I was going to say, the King of Wakanda.
So we're all tied up.
And until round 5.
You win.
I got another token. And all I had to do was cheat. It just goes to show that, like, man, the kind of weight that someone the caliber of Jon Stewart or Dumbledore or...
Yeah, there's a reason I always have at least one heavy hitter on the team. This time, I really just went with characters I fucking love.
Well, that's all I did, too. It's all I ever do. I just happened to, really like Jon Stewart, and he was perfect for a big Justice League crossover.
He's a fucking Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Like, he is by himself a Superman tier card.
Oh, definitely. And I had Steel. So, God, I would love to see a good interpretation of Steel in a movie, in a post-4 movie world. Just the kind of cool shit you can do with his hammer.
Oh, man. I would love that, too.
Yeah, because it's like automated now, and it does its own thing. It's got targeting. It's... Ugh.
Steel is cool. All these characters are really fucking cool.
Well, it's because we only have good taste in things. This is the reason for that.
Everything's better when nerds talk about it.